This is Sneaker Gears, my name is Levi, and welcome to another episode of Performance Gears, where today we have a full review and comparison on the Nike Lebron Soldier 12. Let's get at it. Alright, so the Lebron Soldier 12 is, to me, a really good looking shoe. They took cues from last year's model, the Soldier 12, by adding raw materials, and a lot of the colorways coming out do have either a patent leather, this one has suede right on the toe cap. On the back, they kind of have a faux carbon fiber. So overall, really good looking shoe. Materials, they actually went with the same battle knit or very similar or circular knit than what you were using on your LeBron 15, your $185 flagship model. So this at $130, you're thinking, man, you're getting the same upper, same knit, high quality materials, heel and forefoot zoom, and you're saving $55 or $45 from the top model. Jason Petrie, the lead designer on this model for Nike, said the LeBron Soldier 12 is meant to be a lighter, more focused, and improved lockdown version so LeBron can perform his best in the playoffs. So with all that said, nah, it doesn't work. Sorry, fellas. I hate to give bad news because I really wanted to like this shoe. I used it for a lot longer than I was planning to because I just wanted to enjoy it. I tried different things and it just doesn't work. And let's start with just the fit and the lockdown. So this is supposed to have an improved lockdown. So they actually went from 4 straps on the LeBron Soldier 11, and this one was kind of cool because you were able to 1, 2, 3, 4 and articulate how much tightness you needed or lockdown. Now I wish the straps would have came towards the inside because I think the only negative on this shoe was the lockdown wasn't as good if you're doing lateral movements. So did they improve that with the Soldier 12? And to a degree it is a little bit better for lateral movements, mostly because, I don't know if you guys can see this little plastic loop. This plastic loop you feel quite a bit, which is not a good thing. So it does give you a little bit more of that lateral containment, but I think the Soul Brothers, one of those guys broke it, and I can see how, because you feel on hard cuts that is what's holding you in, not the straps, not the fit. And as far as the fit, when you tighten it down, this is the only part I feel being tightened, right here at the middle. So it was really weird. I couldn't get that lockdown where I can pull it back into my heel. From my experience, they show everyone tightening it like that. I thought it was a little bit better going straight back. So it does give you a little more flexibility because the entire heel is all Velcro, and they did put a 23 or something in there. So for LeBron Soldier, it's kind of ghosted, which is really cool. And like I said, the design and the materials are great, but I just could not get a good fit in this shoe. Now, that is because probably I'm a wide footer, so I had to do a 13, and I've been 13 in pretty much every single LeBron Soldier line. So that's, for me, they run true to size. Technically, could I fit into a 12? No, I couldn't even get my foot into a 12 in any of the last models. So for me, I had to do a 13 on all of these, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And if you have a wide foot, you would think this material, which is kind of that knit, would help, but because you have these giant plastic shanks, you almost got to try it on. It's just not as forgiving. If you have a high instep, you're going to be just fine. And then as far as containment and lockdown, these forefoot part of the strap is, I don't really feel the lockdown up front here. So no matter how tight I pulled, I could not get this to lock in the front. I couldn't get it to pull me back into the heel, and all I could get was a much tighter midfoot, which that's where the width of my foot is, and that's usually where I don't want it the tightest. So all that being said, the containment on this, the fit is just really weird. And then to top it all off, I think one of the special things in LeBron Soldier 11, and even right now, if you're looking to buy a basketball shoe and you want a high top, there's not that many options out there. You really have the Jordan 32, which is kind of a mid-high. You have the Soldier 11, and I'm kind of racking my brain. You have the Anta KT2. Most are mids and lows. So for them to give us a shoe that pretty much plays like a low, this is all you feel, which is super low. This is a sock, so they really lowered the collar line on this, which is good, is bad. If you like a low top, what happens is it separates what makes this important. They have a lot of other shoes, especially from Nike, from Jordan, from any other brand, that you can have a lot better success with. So let's work our way down. We talked about fit, we talked about the materials, talk about the support a little bit. The support on this, they actually put a much larger shank plate in here than they did in LeBron Soldier 11. They also reduced the foam throughout here to shave a little bit of weight. How much weight did they shave? 0.1 ounce. So they supposedly went to one strap, and this looks like two, but according to the designer, this is a one strap design. They went to a larger shank plate, less foam, so they reduced quite a bit, and it's 0.1 ounces lighter. I can't say it's worth that, because what happens is, because there's less foam in the midfoot here, you have a heel and forefoot zoom. The transition on this, I felt, was awful. You literally felt clunky. It was heel or forefoot, and then the cushion was only in the forefoot. So if you were kind of on the balls of your foot, kind of like this didn't have any cushion. It was up here. So unless I'm actually on my toes, it didn't work. I'm not on my toes, I'm on the balls of my feet when you're ready to move around. So the cushion on this was just really weird. And in testing this out, obviously I wanted to bring similar models, so I brought the LeBron Soldier 11, and this was so much smoother. This actually has a larger heel zoom. This actually has more foam. It was just a much more comfortable ride in every aspect. And then on top of that, if you want heel and forefoot zoom, Nike doesn't actually have a lot in their lineup. The PG2 has forefoot zoom, the Kyrie has heel zoom, the Kobe line is now all foam, and then you have the KD, which is that folding Zoom X. So if you want heel and forefoot zoom, you're really looking at the Jordan 32, or now the Jordan Chris Paul, the CP311. So I broke out my 32s, and it is such a better shoe in every single regard except one, and we'll get into that right now. Traction. That's it. That's it. The traction on this is beast. I wish, and that is why I kept playing in this, because the traction was so good. And you guys can see that design where it kind of swirls. It's a blade style traction design. It works. You really almost don't have to do any kind of wiping with the dust. It feels fantastic as far as the traction and the coverage. So that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to like this shoe, because that traction is money. It does a job. So if this shoe fits you, if you wear it and you put it on and you're like, hey, the lockdown is great and it fits your foot, you're gonna have great traction. That cushion it's kind of bad. Like, they really did not calibrate this well. And let's get into the comparison. So honestly, if you're going to compare this to a couple other shoes, the biggest one, like I said, is going to be the Jordan 32. Now, the clear soles on this are pretty bad. They're awful. The solid traction soles on these are really good. Now, are they as good as the Soldier 12 as far as traction? Maybe not that good, but they're still really good. A lot of those are available on sale as far as the Jordan 32. And then you're getting a much bigger forefoot zoom, a much bigger heel zoom. You're getting a full knit upper, and you're getting all that lockdown. Now, this is the low top. You can get it as a high top, so you can have your preference there. Lockdown is better. It's just a better overall shoe. And if you're telling me, well, yeah, it's a more expensive shoe, you're looking at $185 and $160. That's brand new. We're coming towards the end of the basketball season. Playoffs are here, and they're available on sale. The Soldier 12 just came out, so if you're looking to spend that money, the Jordan line is probably a much better way to go. The other recommendation I would have, the PG2. This is going to give you traction that is going to be as good, potentially better. This is going to give you a much better lockdown fit all the way around, and this has unlocked zoom in the forefoot that just feels fantastic. And if you really want heel zoom on this, which again, if you're a bigger guy, you just want the cushion, and that I can understand, go grab yourself a Nike Zoom SB shoe. You can get them at Ross or Marshalls for 20-30 bucks. This is something where you can add the heel zoom, and you're getting a really similar setup, if not better, in pretty much every regard. And what I mean by similar setup is you can see the collar height. You're not really giving up much as far as going from a mid to a low. This plays like a low. This is a low. You're getting better cushion, getting the same traction, if not better. You're spending less money on this. And after you try it on, a lot of folks may not even need that heel zoom. I add it, and this has been one of the top performers. So the LeBron Soldier 12, all in all, this guy is such a letdown. Regarding the weights, I mean, this is supposed to be a lighter version of the full line, so LeBron can kind of focus more in the playoffs. Well, he hasn't worn it in the playoffs, and it's about an ounce lighter, 0.8 ounces lighter than this, or 0.9. So it is lighter, but on foot, we're talking about an 18.9 ounce shoe and an 18 ounce shoe. It's a heavy shoe regardless. We're not talking about Kobe territory where we're at 9-10 ounce shoes. So these are heavy shoes either way. And the fact that LeBron hasn't broken these out yet, right now if you're watching this video, LeBron's going to have his game 3 against the Celtics. And if there's a time that he should be breaking them out, it's now. And to be honest, I will be shocked if he did it. If I'm wrong, great. But the LeBron 15 is better in pretty much every single regard. Even the traction, even if it's not as good, it is still really, really good. And on the NBA, you're playing in clean courts anyway. Well, everyone, hopefully that helps out. I didn't want to bring the bearer of bad news, but if you have any questions, shoot them down below. I'll try to do my best to give comments, answer questions. These, I'm struggling to feel if I'm even going to keep them at all, just because the fit isn't quite there. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. Everything outside of, they look sick. I mean, it's a good looking shoe. All right. So if you like the way it looks, if you really like that traction, all for it. And if it fits you, great, but at the same time, that cushion is really a letdown, and that's kind of the moral of the story here. You're going to spend your money, probably spend it elsewhere, and get a shoe that's going to be a little bit better for you. Guys, this is Levi with Sneaker Gears. Really appreciate all of you. Please give this channel a subscribe down below. Hit the little bell if you want to see when the newest videos come out. And as always, I really appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll come at you soon.